Ok, programma di oggi. Non lo ricordo neanche io. Ci ricordiamo molto velocemente. Giusto. Vediamo questi se me li fa già rintracciare. Vedo due cose che sono. Ok. Questa missione qua sarà difficile da fare. Molto difficile. Perché non mi mette l'obiettivo dov'è la roba, quindi. Ok, mi sa che è meglio prima. Oh my god. Ci sono tre, due West End e un altro qua. Ok. Se no, l'altra missione sarebbe questa, che è più vicina. Quindi facciamo prima, visto che dobbiamo andare di là, il ristorantino suo. Bello questo lag di gioco. Che cazzo. Cambiare di zona sembra un macello qui. Che altro mi devo ricordare, visto che adesso stiamo andando di là? Guarda qua i caricamenti. Per caricare le zone, porca troia, se parte lento sulla PlayStation 4 normale. Sulla prova meglio, magari, no? Anche modelli meno più recenti va meglio, però. Il primo modello che è quello che ho io va veramente di merda. Va qui. È il quarto caricamento, Cristo, cioè. Penso che devo andare prima in mezzo. Ah, è vero, posso. A parlare con Cedana, perché avevo trovato un indizio su di lui. Cedana, se non ricordo male.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir, I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, It was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Buono. E anche questo ho fatto. La zona, infatti. Oddio, no, ho sbagliato strada. Devo tornare indietro. Vabbè, non hai bisogno di ricaricare una stazione. Zona, non vedo, devo andare di qua. Sperare che non sia nessuno sul ponte. Sia di qua. Le strade.
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu.
Perciò uno escluso, devo andare in West End. Quello che si sposano gli NPC. Oddio. Se sto caricamento in corso, porco di quella puttana, mi ammazza l'invisibilità, però mi incazza un pochino, Perché il tempo c'era qui. Però se adesso... Sì, mi ha visto. Ah, i pretoni quindi forse possono vedermi. Porca puttana. Posso andare di qua. Basta, Qui.
It's locked.
Ho trovato cose interessanti. Tra l'altro non mi ricordo dove sono. Qua, posso andare di qua. Qua. Sempre stand. Dai, però. Da quando non iniziato ne avrò già fatti 6 di caricamenti, direi che possono bastare. Qualcuno mi aiuta.
You London vampires are so weak!
Quello ti riempie di bot, ma... Vabbè, qua che sta. le palle però adesso. E va. Cazzo, le palle, sì. Aia. Ah. Mica nelle fogne neanche lo vado a trovare.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. But what happened to my jailer? Be careful. He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura. I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reed, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care.
Posto. Adesso me ne manca una, dai, che sfiga. Cazzo, mi... Devo trovare, per una la devo trovare. Qui. No, non è un ristorante. Vabbè, è anche vero che è una stradina super da Dio, però. Dai che c'è una strada per arrivare. Una stradina per arrivare dove voglio arrivare io. Che è questa. Sì.
There's one of them! Watch your
Adesso non vengo più avanti.
Christ, he's dead! Doesn't like burning, does it?
C'era un ristorante qua nei dintorni. No, c'è uno stilato qua. Qua dentro. Il ristorante qua dentro, dov'è?
Oh my god!
A te, sai?
All of you!
Era il ristorante. No.
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
E ora devo rientrare a West End. Questa strada. No, no. Bel caricamento. Tanto perché tanto oggi ne abbiamo fatti pochi di caricamenti. Però sei tu che rompi le palle. Ah, zoccola. Dove stava il venditore? Qui.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
I have found a restaurant that could satisfy you, Mr. Russell. The most intriguing and exotic restaurant in London.
Really? You have piqued my interest. Where is it?
It's a place where you eat in complete darkness and try to identify your meal without anything but your palate.
My, oh my, how interesting. It could even be fun to eat a little poisson et frites that way. Oh, thank you, Dr. Reed. Please, have this for your research.
Goodbye, Mr. Russell. I'm sure you'll take care of yourself.
Ottimo. Poi, prossima indagine. Prima questa. No, dov'è Clemens che avevo la cura? Vieni qua.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Clarence, you've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your trust. You don't know what that means to me.
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth, saw it bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
Clarence, tell me about the vampire you saw in France.
I was enjoying my leave in Rouen. I left the bar, took a shortcut back to the barracks. I saw it in a back alley. An officer in a stained uniform, biting into a soldier's neck.
Did you ever see that officer again?
No. He wore the uniform of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. I did some research, but found no trace of him. He probably stole it from a previous victim.
But you were drunk, weren't you? Are you sure these two men were not just kissing?
Please don't insult me, Johnny. I hid, and I saw him leave. Then I saw the body, drained of all blood. I've seen the same marks here in London since I've returned.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Sta a casa. Ah merda, è dall'altro lato, vabbè, devo andare di qua. Incredibilmente complicato. Però ho scelto il giro lungo. Gliela faccio prima.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was
Io,
going to bed.
oddio,
actually.
Venus.
Forgive me. With the epidemic, I tend to forget people are supposed to sleep at night.
I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow for tea. I'll be glad to see you then.
Allora, vabbè, non posso perché sono un vampiro. Ah, oddio, Venus l'ho già sentita, non mi ricordo però. Abita qui. E faccio. Dubito che abiti nelle fogne, lo dubito. Allora, se qui c'è un attimo un problema. Scusa. Scusa. Perché Emily è qua. Qua proprio. Ah, mi sa che devo provare a... Oh? so, non ho idea. Ma entrare in quella casa lì che c'è quella porta che mi porta là, che mi porta là. Quindi bisogno di livello di fascinazione 4, in poche parole. Non che non ci sia perché. Casa di questa è il via tutto praticamente. Se non puoi entrare in sta casa qui non puoi fare un cazzo. Allora devo andare a prendere il livello fascinazione 4. Ok, quindi cosa abbiamo fatto in totale? Sta martellando alle 10 del mattino, questo è buono. Non abbiamo altro da fare prima, vero? Dovevo parlare con la figlia del... Ok, prima con la figlia di Ashbury. Poi dopo andiamo a prendere la
Good
missione
evening, Miss
principale.
Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor than mine.
Oh, my God. For one second I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Andiamo. molte persone con cui parlare in realtà, perché ne ho salvate un po' tra... Ah, poi devo fare anche i medicinali. Vabbè, a fine live facciamo che magari questa volta chiudo un po' più tardi, ma verso quando sono tipo l'ora 55 mi metto a craftare pure le porto tutta la città. Magari anche un po' prima di... Cinematica. Ci sta.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Un cazzo di vampiri bastardi, io.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
No, era questa la mia intenzione, era guardare se c'erano cose. Peccato, non era questo quello che si cercava? No. Peccato. Pugnale buono. L'azione è pugnale buono. Buono sto pugnale che... Marca, vacca, vabbè.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
Sto c'è vecchio però. Cioè.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here!
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Yes, she is. I may even say I admire her probity and her kindness. She has helped me since I was reborn.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, Do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why are you suddenly so friendly? The last time I met one of yours, he tried to kill me.
Are you referring to Fergal? He was the most useful of servants, but he was just a servant. You, on the other hand, Doctor, proved yourself much more worthy.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Siamo in 4 in questo caso. 6, chiedo scusa. Cioè, molto ristretto il numero di...
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign echoes. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
Scusa, nel frattempo vi derubo ancora un po' casa. Ah.
2 nights ago. I thought it was Fergal coming back, but
E parli col nonno qua.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Unscalable wall to isolate.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
As soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scals.
I have met peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Oh, livello di fascinazione 4. Vero? Oh, benessere. Ora con il livello di fascinazione 4 possiamo andare a sbloccare due... Ah, tanto sono abbastanza sicuro che la roba dei vampiri la trovo... L'ultima roba dei vampiri la trovo in casa dei... della Lady. Però nel dubbio guardo anche qui. Infatti...
Such an example.
Con lei posso parlare?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Ok, usciamo da sto posto. Andiamo a parlare con la Milady, o meglio con la Milady, quella del piano di sopra. un altro quest secondario per tanti. Ma per il momento non... Direi che siamo verso la fine. Il quartiere, c'è verso gli scalpi. Ci sarà tipo una caccia fino a... Ah no, per guardia di privo, ci sarà una cosa contro gli scalchi, dovrò magari decidere se sacrificarli o meno. Il sacrifico probabilmente salverò dall'epidemia.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Passo da 4.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan.
L'ho già sentita ma non mi ricordo.
Know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
Sveglia vuol dire che
I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
It's locked, all right.
Ah. Niente di interessante.
I feared the worst.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old
Ah, è la
last?
moglie di Clarence.
Probably
Ah, ok,
outside,
adesso mi ricordo.
chasing ghosts and
Dovevo
chimeras.
sentirla.
Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your sister.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden, and I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Gli pare, tirano martellate al pavimento, sì, tanto. Cazzo stanno a
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
Vabbè, non vale.
The important question is, what do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
What do you think about Clarence squandering his fortune on his obsession?
Soon we'll be poor, and forced to sell the house. Where will we go? In which filthy, infected part of town will we end up? I'm so afraid.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
Goodbye for now.
At least you survived the Great War.
Io esco da qui. Figata. Non si chiude la porta. Davvero. 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 Dai, ma porca troia. Ma è uno scherzo. Ma è uno scherzo. Dai, ma non è vero. Ah, vabbè, posso fare così. Vaffanculo, va.
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone, blood. I should follow the trail.
Guarda, si può aprire? No.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same
What are you doing
I'm
here?
the Marquis de Bois-Colombes.
Russo?
And I strongly invite you to find your own games.
I'm not here to
Russo,
sustain
perché?
myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, You're
Madre
joking,
Russia,
right?
madre patria
I do
Russia.
love the
Perché?
British sense of humor.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes. At your service, my
La
dear
Madonna di San Luca è lui. È francese.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I
Ma
consider
aveva
myself
ma
a
l'accento
traveler.
russo. Perché? Dagli l'accento francese, perché c'è l'accento russo?
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all
Non è...
Econs as family, don't you?
Ma non è l'accento francese, è quello russo, ma
What are you
perché?
doing here?
I recently decided
Ma
to visit
perché?
London. I've always dreamed of
Cristo il
visiting a city on
doppiaggio
the verge of
almeno,
collapse.
Cristo il doppiaggio
Such a
almeno.
delicate, yet
Fallo chiamare
intense
no, Dostoevsky no. Nel senso Mitroglou almeno ha un senso, ma se me lo fai chiamare anche col nome francese e poi ti dai l'accento russo sei un coglione.
I have been a totally depraved
Ma
and
Cristo.
immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir.
Vabbè,
And
intanto
probably
l'altro
before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last wedding good.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
Con le palle prima. Vieni qua, testa di merda. Coglioni fino adesso, guardare in una maniera più bella. Posti. Andate a parte della terra qui sopra, vai. Tutto il mio l'edificio. Charlotte era di qua. E nel frattempo parlo anche con Clarence. Parlo anche con... Peccato che non ho trovato.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood.
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
E la Madonna!
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mulaney's. A nice family who live in a big house near the park
dall'altra
in
parte.
the eastern part of this
I
neighborhood.
Mullaney dall'altra parte non...
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Ora provo a vedere il paletto della tipa, perché arancione è prepotente. 35 di stordimento, il mio fa 23. Energia 30. 40, via! Via di paletto di Charlotte. Ho capito il paletto della signora qui? Dove è finito Clarence? E chi è?
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Do you realize you are ruining your family, Clarence? Don't you see the risk here?
Money isn't important. Not important when it is a matter of life and death. That is what my dear Venus cannot understand.
People will laugh at you, if they don't already. Think about your wife and your position. Think about your future.
I understand my wife's embarrassment, but gossips don't kill, vampires do. There'll be no future if people don't open their eyes.
I can't believe I'm telling you this, but if warning people is that important to you, why not choose a more efficient way to spend your money?
Don't you think I tried? I knocked at every door, went to every bank, I even tried to be published. No, Jonathan. This is a one-man war.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there?
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
These leaflets were telling the truth all along.
A lei? È la tipa che avevo
Good evening,
salvato.
Miss Teasdale. How have you been since you returned home?
Dr. Reed. Oh, thank God you returned safely from these awful streets. I was so worried about my father that I left without thanking you properly.
Please don't mention it, miss.
Good. I found him, you know. My dad. Or what was left of him. I think my abductor intended to do the same thing to me.
What do you do for a living, Miss Teasdale?
Before my kidnapping, I was a waitress in a pub. Now I'm unemployed.
Were you fired?
No. It's just that after my recent experience, I don't feel like I can go back to my normal life. I need to do something useful.
Be very careful, Miss Teasdale. You were lucky to escape death once, but vampires lurk everywhere.
You killed my kidnapper by yourself, didn't you? No offense, Doctor, but you're just a doctor. I don't see why I couldn't do the same.
What do you intend to do?
Dad always told me, Louise, if you want something, don't stop until you have it. I did my research and I found it. Ichabod Throgmorton, professional vampire hunter. I'll be his apprentice.
Va bene, posto così. Dai.
What can you tell me about this area?
I've never really liked this part of town. It was where my father wanted to live. I won't remain here much longer.
What exactly don't you like about it?
People here are contemptuous and elitist. My dad always said, Louise, always treat people like you want them to treat you.
Louise, what can you tell me about the vampire who captured you?
The little fucker claimed he'd fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity with me. Not a bad idea. At least that's the way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, immortality. Not a common wedding gift, is it? I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
What? Well, I I really can't answer that. Well, since they are creatures of blood, physically speaking, I suppose an erection is possible, but I...
Don't be embarrassed, Dr. Reed. I was just asking.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. He kept an eye on me, but let me make my own mistakes. Louise used to say, mistakes are the best teacher. You would have liked him.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
It's always been your house, Dad. Not mine.
Allora. Quante zone ho da controllare? Una, due. Bella questa cosa. Allora. Qui che c'è? Andiamo di qua. Sono tre adesso, non erano due? Beh, l'evento poi all'ospedale ci vado poi quando devo andare a dare le cure a tutti. Fate vedere da cosa posso fare. Oh, può passare da di qua.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Please, sir, can't let him through.
Vedere il paletto. Soci il paletto. Il paletto è sgravino, Ciao, ciao Cristone. Merda. Devo trovare il paletto anche su livello 28. Sta. Soci con uno! L'ho stannato con uno! Hai capito il paletto della Charlotte qui? Si è attivata una missione. What? Non ho capito. È un bug o... me l'ha indicato. È strano. Vabbè, qua.
I cannot enter.
Damn. Via? No, in realtà è perfetta la via. Perché è questa?
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
Oh.
This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
Livello 6, 28, un po' il culo mi sa. Però sei infame perché sei... Ah, mi ha vomitato in faccia la zoccola. Però il danno te ne faccio pure tanto, aia. Qualcuno mi sta parlando.
I've never seen such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution?
Stronza.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Puttana. Niente di interessante.
Women of all countries unite.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
Basta qua. Oh merda, la bestia non l'avevo vista, livello 26, non è fortissima. Sta laggando. Bravissimo. Ah, vedo. Aia. Aia, 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 aia. Un vero gusto, buono. Ah, devo ancora andare avanti. Ah. Ho capito. Una strada di qua? Ah. No. Sì. No. Vabbè. Culo. Trapanando di sopra, sì, vai, tranquilli. E la madonna, fucile a pompa eccezionale veramente. Che cazzo di denominazioni per la... Gli sento che fa un casino però. Ah, sì, la scala. Due boss. Qui apro il culo ad entrambi perché quando è livellati gli faccio il cazzo che mi pare. Ho tutto perché mi mancava la stamina. No, m'ha preso, stronzo. Mortacci tua.
So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
male, però ragazzi, così sopra. Cazzo fanno trasloco, porco dio. Cioè, io non so.
Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Sì, vabbè, poi dopo vado a fare anche... Sta strada qua. Caricamento. Giustamente, no? Ce n'era ancora uno.
Step away, sir. Out! I'm talking to you, you twat!
Tutti. Ah no, è vero che i santoni mi vedono. Santoni di merda. Scomodo.
Oh no!
Ah, zoccola. Cos'è? Ne prendo una alla volta, dai, vieni anche tu. Aia.
It's locked, all right.
Cazzo è sto teatro? Il teatro si dovrebbe vedere teoricamente. Ah no 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 no, mi leva il sangue sto stronzo. Pretone di merda, vieni qua. Aia. trovo un altro modo per entrare nel teatro, ma vai a fanculo, vai. Passerò da dietro, che cazzo di altro modo vuoi che trovi?
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Allora.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Merda. Brutta zoccola. Grande sta casa, guarda da qui si esce. Bloccata. Non l'avevo visto, non so neanche arrivare. È enorme questo teatro, giusto anche se così, però. Ok, vado in bocca, quindi prima provo un'altra cosa. Cazzo c'è qua sotto? Porta dai, quindi siamo in un'entrata trionfale dal davanti. Ancora meglio dal sopra.
to her kindness and beauty, For now she hides in shadow, ugly as sin. But when you burn and die,
what's fine?
It's locked.
Niente. Volevo fare l'entrata trionfale, non la farò. Entrerò dallo sgabuzzino.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. Woe unto my children, my beloved, die! Touché, sir.
Ah. Io parto così, Aia. Ok, fai male. Oh, però il paletto di Charlotte mi fa male.
My servants, your hand is shaking. Touché. Your hand is shaking. Hear and obey, for your... I smell your fear.
No. Stamina. Zoccola che non sei altra. Dai.
Your hand is shaking.
Ma vaffanculo, stavolta ti ho presa, zoccola.
My father, prepare to die. I smell your fear.
Buono.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she.
La Madonna.
Will she be the queen again once they all share?
Che cazzo è successo? Ma leva tutta la stamina?
I summon thee, my children of the night. Fight, maim, spit, kill!
Che cazzo?
Your blood will be mine.
Aia, no, 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 no.
Arise and save your queen, my slaves.
No! Mi ha preso. Aia. Che cazzo?
Hear and obey, for your queen commands.
Oh, cara.
My children, my beloved, die for the love of...
Aia, no, dai! Spappola che non sei altro.
Come to me, my
Ai ai ai, mi ha vomitato in faccia. Merda! Non ho stamina, non ho. Mi ha preso?
Your blood, I summon thee, my children of the night.
Aia, mi ha preso. Fottiti, cara, ti becco tutte le volte, tutte. Cazzo, non vedo.
Arise and save your
E vaffanculo, va.
Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty?
Ma che
Is she
cazzo?
sweet and
Ma
tender?
signora,
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
Vedo che t'ammazza.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said.
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Stay close, guys.
Ok, ultimo quarto d'ora, momento medicamenti. Direi che possiamo concludere con tutte le varie medicine da dare. Tanto mi sembra di avere 5.000 di esperienza, quindi abbastanza per evolvere quel che mi serve, che credo sarà l'artiglio. Adesso devo vedere perché mi ha dato la sciabola viola, che sembra molto molto interessante, però la mia ammazza draghi non è male, quindi devo un attimo scegliere adesso. Probabilmente lo sceglierò a fine live, prima di andare a letto, di andare nel letto a fare esperienze e di chiudere definitivamente la live. E via. Di sopra intanto stanno facendo i lavori peggiori della vita. Non c'ho parole. Vabbè. Allora vado nel nascondiglio più vicino. È la Madonna di San Luca. No? Cristo.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Sì, vabbè, dai, ok. Ragazzi, mi dispiace, ma non ti si sentirà anche in live perché lo sto sentendo come se, come se mi stessero trapanando praticamente in faccia, quindi sono abbastanza sicuro che si sente anche qui. L'ho già fatto, scappo dal teatro, vabbè. Nascondiglio, prima nascondiglio a West End, andiamo a West End. 8.000, chiedo scusa, dovevo leggermente di più.
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin.
Dopo vado anche da Lord Stronzibus. Un casino di gente che non ho ancora trovato. E questo che non ho neanche capito che cazzo trovarlo. Non mi ricordo cosa dovevo fare. Sì, controllare le malattie. Buono, al porto non ci dobbiamo andare, buono. Però prima è meglio controllare il nascondiglio, ok? Qui. Eccolo. Ah, proprio residenza ride proprio così. Ok, non ho controllato. Allora c'è bisogno di stanchezza. 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 Anemia. Buono, sto segnando tutto. Stanchezza. Stanchezza, 6 di stanchezza, buono. Stanchezza, 7 di stanchezza, ottimo. Di qua. Emicrania, per me sa che ce l'ho già. Che cazzo. Raffreddore. Questo l'ho già dato. Mal di testa. Buono, vediamo. Anemia ce l'ho già. Emicrania ce l'ho già. Mal di testa ce l'ho già. Allora, anemia c'è. Emicrania pure. Raffreddore? No. Raffreddore fatto. Mal di testa ce l'ho. E poi 7 di stanchezza? Vai. Che sono? Posso. Ora si va a curare la gente. Passiamo da di qua. Allora, chi è che c'era qui da curare che non mi ricordo neanche più? Lui l'ho già curato. E lui sta... lei.
Good evening, Miss Teasdale.
Can I help you, Dr. Reed?
Do you need my medical attention, miss?
I don't need your help specifically. I can assure you there are many competent doctors around.
I have no doubt about it, but I'm offering you my help anyway.
All right then. but please leave me alone for now.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
Why can't I forgive you, Father?
Women of all countries unite!
Poi al porto che c'è, al White Chapel che ci arrivo veloce. Vado giusto, devo farmi il ponte per White Chapel.
You! Get back in the grave!
Giustamente. Questo era, diciamo, un po' il me l'aspettavo, diciamo. Poi da White Chapel vado all'ospedale, salvo lì. Anzi, provo a fare un giro ancora più periscopico. Non so dove sia spawnato. Non mi ricordo chi devo curare, però. Ah, la cinese. Ok.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many.
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
晚上好, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reed. Not at all.
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye for now.
Ok. Go verso l'ospedale. Poi risaliamo dalla stradina del cazzo, andiamo anche da Lady Ashbury e poi chiudiamo la live. Dai. Dai, ripigliati il socio quando metti il menu che non riparte il coso. Che palle. Ah, qua sono diventati scale. Buono. No, ok.
Stupid beast!
Dai, a che palle quel mitraglietto di merda. Eccoli. Parte il primo, secondo me ce ne saranno 3. Me ne auspico 3. Via. Devo andare a parlare anche col signore di là, che il livello di fascinazione ce l'ho giusto. Oh cazzo. C'è un file di aggiornamento di forza. Culo allora. C'è partito senza tanti problemi con uno. Not bad. Sono qui da parlare col dottor Swansea. Sempre più inculato, dottor Swansea.
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit, then?
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think. Following a lead concerning your maker.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so.
except perhaps it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female. They called them ichors.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan. Hope for a better tomorrow.
I'll come back later. Thank you, Edgar.
Always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
È il momento delle medicazioni. Allora, fammi ricordare che tanto qui erano tutti stanchi qua, tipo. Allora, la signora, il malato, il dottore senza occhiali. Partiamo da questi tre che sono più o meno tutti qua. Cazzo, occhiali tu. Ci parlo.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well-deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl.
So many deaths.
Questi li ho già dati, poi. Che altro c'è? C'è Dana. Il malato di là.
Reads me like a book.
Still more coming.
I'll never.
How can we be sure when they
Dana.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Questo fatto. Poi il malato di là.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Poi c'è
Another night of the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. And thanks, anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
Another night. Surely I can...
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Allora, fa vedere a chi l'ho data. Data. Anche a Clay.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Prendiamo dalle diaspore. Giustamente non solo di sopra ma anche in casa mia, casini. Andiamo dalla signora. Vento scomparso, good. E a sto punto mi cagato, ho sbagliato cos'è questo? Gesù Cristo, si gira male sto gioco.